What's up, guys? Another day, another unboxing. And this time, this is the unboxing that I am most excited about ever since I got into the whole licensed anime statue thing. Ever since I was introduced with Jimei statues. So this unboxing is for Jimei Studios Kaido. So guys, as you would notice, Kaido's art box is already out and there's no brown box because the brown box is good as destroyed because it was this box was stored on a damp place, on a wet place. So the box has been wet the whole time it was stored, and there was molds all around it, and it was good as torn to pieces. So good thing that the art box is still in good condition, but anyway, it will not degrade the value of this in any way because it is still one of the best statue of Jimei for me, even in their art box category. Because as you can see, the art box is not like any other art box out there. It is filled with uh, an artwork of Kaido on top and a nice Kaido logo. And this is what you would expect on a Jimei Kaido art box. So I would also like to share to you guys that this box is one of the heaviest, literally the heaviest box I have ever encountered. A single box for a 1/6 scale. So I think I can't remember the exact weight of this piece, but I think it's around 50 kilos or 100 pounds. And it took 3 people to at least carefully lift it off its storage and put it on inside this cafe. So it's that heavy. This piece is that heavy. And unfortunately, I don't have an assistant with me during this unboxing. So good luck to me, and hopefully no accidents would be done on the statue while trying to unbox this thing alone. So I'm super excited to share to you guys what's inside, and let's begin. Okay guys, so if you would watch my last video, my unboxing of Jin Studios Katakuri, what I did is that I didn't take the styro out of the art box. So I took all the pieces from the styro while it's still inside the art box, instead of the usual that I do wherein I take out the styro from the art box and from there I take out the pieces one by one. So this time I'm gonna do the same technique I used with Jin Studios Katakuri, wherein I will take out the pieces from the styro while it's still in the art box. Not because of anything, but it's because this piece is just too heavy for me to turn upside down and to even attempt to take it out of the art box. So I'll try that technique again, and I'm confident that it will work because I've already done it and it was successful. So let's start. Okay guys, so I had a change of plan. I will not be doing that technique anymore because the thing is, the styro is locked in place with masking tapes. So I won't be able to cut the masking tapes around it and lift the styro. So I have no choice but to really take out this piece out of its art box. So tough luck, but we have to do what you have to do. Okay guys, so I have this, I don't know what to say, guys, but this is how I got my Kaido. So there is this, I don't know what this is, some sort of a powder, because I got this, I got this Kaido piece from another collector. So this is already second hand, and I'm not sure what this is, and it made a real big mess on the statue. I'll just have to, because this is powder, it's pure powder. I'm not sure what this is for. Or I guess it's termite. I think it's termite. Anyway, it's so frustrating that this happened to my piece, because I'm super excited about this statue. I'll just have to confront the previous owner about this. So shit happens on this hobby, and oh well, let's just see how we're going to be able to salvage this statue, considering this mess right here. So you could see there are termites. I'm not sure if it's termite, but this is wood. I'm not sure if it's real wood, but it pulverized. As you can see here, it was pulverized, and there are insects. I'm not sure what kind of insect these are, which I guess did all this. Anyway, it's so frustrating that this happened to my piece, because I'm super excited about this. I'm just praying that it's not gonna affect the entire statue, and I'll still be able to display it. So anyway, let's just continue with the build and see what happens. So you could see, guys, that even the instruction manual was eaten through by the termites. So you can see the holes over here. So the base, so that piece that was eaten by the termites is part of the base, which is this one. It's supposed to be like some sort of a platform that where you put this cloth on top, and then you put the actual base on top of it. So I'm guessing that we could still display Kaido even without this platform over here, but it just sucks that we won't be able to display it, because it's a very nice feature to have on a statue, especially it being a real wood. It adds to the extra premium effect of the statue, and it elevates the statue a bit by putting it on a pedestal, making it a bit taller. But I guess we could just display it with the rug below. We don't have to put the wood base here, but I hope that Jimei would sort this thing out for me. I'll just try to contact them and see if what they could do for me regarding this base. Hopefully they would be able to send a replacement. So for any representative of Jimei who might be watching this video, I hope that you could help me with this wood problem we have here. And anyway, I'll show you. I'm having someone clean the wood up, so I could show you what it looks like after the damage has been done by the nasty termites. Okay guys, so this is what the final result of the infestation did to the wood base. So you could clearly see that it is totally decimated. It is unusable. No matter how you clean it, it's still pulverized beyond, I guess, beyond repair. You see, you could see the powder coming through no matter how much you air it out or how much you tap it out. So this is what the base looks like. This is what happened to the wood base of Jimei Kaido, infested by termites because of the real wood used. And it just sucks that it happened. Hopefully Jimei could sort this out for me. But anyway, life moves on, and lesson needs to be learned by both the collectors and especially the studio who are using these kinds of material to at least warn their customers that there are real wood used, and when there is wood, there is always real potential problem with termites or infestations. So at least the studios should warn customers regarding this. So for those of you who still has their Kaido on stock on their storage, I highly suggest that you check your statue out and see if this also happened to you. Anyway, moving on to the build. This is what the base looks like. So this is a surprisingly light base compared to how heavy the entire box or how heavy the entire statue is. This is a very light base and seems a bit hollow, but I guess that it's sturdy enough to carry all the weight on top. Okay, so as I showed you guys earlier, I was confident that we could still display the Kaido without any real loss in displayability and quality and the beauty, even without the wood base. So here is the carpet, the rag, directly on the floor or wherever you're going to display it. It just lost the effect that it's floating somewhat or elevated somewhat by the wood base, but this is still a nice display option for those who had the same problem or might have the same problem as I did. So for those with that problem, don't stress yourself out. Let's hope that Jimei would sort it out, but still, this is still a magnificent piece even without that wood base. Here is a chain that is one of the heaviest chain I have ever encountered, and it's made of all of it's made of real metal. That's why it's super heavy. I'm guessing this chain alone weighs around 7 pounds. So that's how heavy it is, and you could see the details or even the rust. I think the rusting effect is real. It's not painted. I think some of it is real rust, and it works because it is a real metal chain. So this part here is one of the hardest part to assemble, these two dragon pieces right here, because one, it's super heavy, two of them, and two, it's hard to position them exactly so that they would line up. Like for example here, there's still a big gap that I guess this should flush perfectly with this part, but I'm not sure why it won't happen, because there you could see it more. As you can see here, there's still a bit more that we could insert it, but I'm not sure it would make much difference considering how big the gap is. And here there's no room already to improve or to push it so that these two would flush together. And I'm not sure how it is with other collectors, but this is how mine looks like. Hopefully it will not be an issue with the balance of the statue or anything falling off in time. That's it for one of the hardest inserts. Relatively, it's been an easy assembly up onto this part, these two dragon pieces right here. Here we have the dragon's head with the horns separately attached to it, the four horns, and it's a nice big dragon's head. I'd just like to point out the details of these horns. It goes to this Onigashima skull, and it's super nice. Looks very believable that it looks like a horn from a real animal, and the shading and the colors are nice as well. There are hints of lava colors around the rocks, and it's a very nice detail for this statue. Okay guys, so this is the final stretch of our statue build for Kaido. Somewhat an easy build except for the previously mentioned two dragon parts, and as usual and customary to all our statue assembly, the head last to complete the statue. So this is Kaido's head. I already placed the two horns and his mustache. So this is it. So here he is, guys. Jimei Palace Kaido in all its emperor glory. So the heaviest, arguably the heaviest 1/6 scale statue to ever exist. I think to ever exist. That's a bold statement, but this is really how heavy this guy is, considering it's a 1/6 scale. 1/4 scale, we are familiar with this kinds of weight, but for a 1/6 scale statue, this is exceptionally heavy, exceptionally big. Let's go over the details of this statue. You can see how beautifully done the sculpt was made. You can see all the scars over his body and his tattoo. I really love how well they made the horns look very realistic, like their horns on Kaido's human form. The horn they did for this base, just look how well this is done. It looks like a real cow's horn. So the dragon's horn is not really well made. It looks cartoonish, and as you just saw, and it's really a problem for most of the statues that has these kinds of beard, especially for example, for me, I have 3 different kinds of Kaido statue. I have the Mobile Palace one, the BP Studio Kaido, and this is my 3rd Kaido statue. And all of these Kaido statues, the beard really is a problem to, it's really a headache to fix fixed onto the statue. It's always a risk of falling. I'm not sure why they cannot engineer a solution on how to attach these kinds of mustache and these kinds of horns, especially for a Kaido statue. I'm not sure why, but it is a recurring problem. So let's just so it's still falling. So I'll just put it down for a moment. So we're still going over the details. You can see how beautiful the sculpt work on his hands are. You can see all the vein work, even the prints on his fingers and the dirt on his nails. You could see how beautifully painted the chains are, the metals, to look like battle-worn metals chains, except for this one, because this is a real heavy metal, heavy chain. So what else? Here his cloth, the texture on his cloth is very nice, and the detail of the cloth being torn and burnt is also very nice. Here you could still see more vein details on his other arm. So overall, Kaido's human form for this statue is super nice. The dragon form is not as nice as the human form because it is quite lacking for me. The horns is not as detailed as the horns on its human form. The scales are not as detailed as it should be, and even the shading is not as nice as it should be. And also this problem over here on why it wouldn't flush all the way, and it's still a troubling scene for me because I'm not sure how well it will hold up into the future, but hopefully it doesn't fall. And so here is the base, the rug that is supposed to go on top of the wooden base, but as you all know, the wooden base has been infested and completely destroyed, useless by termites. So I just threw it already, and I'm gonna try to sort it out with Jimei. Hopefully they would reply positively to my request, hopefully for a replacement. But still, even without that wooden base, it would display very nicely with Kaido. So next is we'll see how well this would look with the light up feature, and that's it. So let's see how the light up feature is. So this is how the light up works. There's a ominous light up feature on the base, some sort of lava like Onigashima wanting to explode from within, just like how it is with the enemy when the Orochimaru is trying to destroy Onigashima by blowing it up. I guess this is what the base represent. So this is how it would look. Unfortunately, it's super bright outside. That's why I couldn't show it to you guys how it is when it's dark. But this is Jimei Palace Kaido. So, regardless, guys, of the huge issue that I've encountered with it, with the wooden base, still say that this is the best Kaido that anyone could ever get, with its museum post like stance and the nice base. It is a version of Kaido, considering that you also have his dragon form behind, so it's like a 2-to-1. So you have the human form and a dragon form. Hopefully, or definitely, there will come a very nice hybrid form for Kaido. But for now, this is the best Kaido that anyone could ever get. So it's a good job for Jimei for bringing us this Kaido. And also going back to the issue encountered earlier, hopefully it is a learning lesson, not just for Jimei Studio, but for all other studio, to at least provide a disclaimer for collectors to saying that if there are any wooden parts, to take precautionary measures, I guess. Although no one really wanted what happened to happen, but still there's always should be a disclaimer for collectors to be aware of. So anyway, again, this is Jimei Palace Kaido, the best Kaido out there that any collector could ever get. So that's it, guys. Hope to see you again on our next unboxing, and hopefully for our next unboxing we won't have any issues encountered. So see you.